After 7 months of hard work and labor, we finally did it. All right. So, y'all, I am so excited because we finally did it. We finally did it. That's a round of applause, bro. That's a what? That's a round of applause. Give me a round of applause, man. Come on, bro. Come on, come on, come on. All right, so, dude, we finally did it, and it felt like forever. It felt like forever, and when I passed the account, I was so excited because I was like, bro, there's no way I actually did it. There's no way I actually did it, and I almost shed a tear because if I'm being completely honest with you, I won the trade and I was at work whenever it happened. Past the combine, I was like, bro, I wanted to do a backflip. I don't even know how to do a backflip, but I wanted to do a backflip so bad and be like, yo, if I break my neck, I break my neck. Nah, let's calm down. So yes, bro, we finally did it. As you can see, welcome and congratulations on becoming a Topstep funded trader. Man, this it brings me so much joy that I actually finally did it. And dude, I didn't expect for it to take this long. I did not expect for this to take this long at all. And like I say, like everybody's time is different. Everybody moves on different timing, and you cannot rush the process because I felt so many accounts back to back to back because I was trying to rush and hurry up and pass the account. Once I locked in mentally and once I realized that it's about the process and it's about taking A plus setups, bro, I passed in like after once it was, what was it? When I had reset my account and I switched my mentality to that, dude, I instantly passed the account in like I think it was 9 days. It was somewhere around that, and I passed it in 9 days, and I was like, bro, where was this at before? But this is all part of the process. Everybody, it takes longer for some people. Some people don't pass a funded account until a year, 2 years later. So I'm very grateful to have passed the account in 7 months. I know with funded accounts, you want to try to pass them as fast as possible, but mentally, I was trying to stay away from that because I wanted to build the correct strategies going into the market whenever I do get my Express account. So, I was trying to build good habits now and not go into the market with my Express account doing some stupid stuff. And, speaking of stupid stuff, I'll kind of go in and show you what I've been doing lately because the last two trades that I took are currently in drawdown. But this is the trade that I took to catch this dub. Or when I passed my account, this is the trade that I took. So going into this market, I was very bullish and I had this bullish bias because during this time we had a lot of bullish order flow, meaning that we had a lot of breaker structure to the upside showing a sign of continuation. One thing we failed to do is we failed to retrace back into this fair value gap. Also, we had an order block here. The market failed to retrace back into the zone multiple times. So I was like, okay, the market has to come back down sometime soon. And if I'm being completely honest with you, the first thing I wanted to do, I truly wanted to enter off of this fair value gap. But since we had broke structure to the downside in the 15 minute, I didn't really trust it. I didn't trust it, and I was like, okay, let me hold off a little bit. But in reality, going to the 30 minute, all it was just a retracement. Even though we had a 15-minute breaker structure in the, or since even though we had a breaker structure in the 15 minute, we also had just a retracement in the 30 minute. And this is what I mean. Like I said, we break structure to the downside here, but in the 30 minute, we don't break structure to the downside at all. It's just a retracement. And that's where I failed actually in a couple of my trades before is, knowing where to enter off of. Ultimately, like I said, so anyway, this was a really good trade. Once the market came back inside of this order block, this was a 5 minute order block, I believe. Let's see. Yes, so we entered off into this 5 minute order block because, an order block is either it's hard. Okay, order block can be an order block can be let's see. People think of order blocks differently. My way of thinking of an order block is the last move, the last up or down move before a massive move to the upside. So meaning we have a lot of sell or buy orders being created by the market before the market reacts and goes higher. Meaning, so example with here, I consider this bearish candle as an order block because we had 5 massive candles back to the upside after creating this down move. So that was my order block that I considered. And going into the market, I was like, okay, since we have this market, since we have this bullish order flow, we also broke structure to the upside in this range here. So once we broke structure to the upside, I was like, okay, my mind shifted to, okay, we are currently looking for long positions. Market comes back down into the order block. I wait just a little bit just to see how the market reacts off of it. And then once this candle closes, I enter off into this one, which is the first bullish candle up. Massive, crazy W. That was such a successful trade. But like I said, I wanted to enter here. I wanted to enter here right when the market retraced into the fair value gap, but I didn't do that because of the 15-minute. But honestly, what I should have did is go to the 30-minute just so I can see what the market is doing. So with that being said, let's go to where we are right now. We are $905 in drawdown. $905 in drawdown. And the reason why is because of not paying attention to what the market is telling us and signaling to me. So going into these trades, right? I think these trades were taken on ES. So I took 2 trades on ES, L's. First trade, this was yesterday's trade. Yesterday's trade was terrible, in my opinion. There was no reason for me to enter long here whatsoever, but I still entered long. So the reason why I entered long here is because as we go into the hourly time frame, what do we have? We have all this bullish order flow telling us that the market is going higher. So in my mind, I was like, okay, with me knowing that information, what I'm going to do now is look for bullish entries or long entries. We scale down to the 30-minute. Mind you, this zone right here is a high. This is a session high, which was in the London session. We created a London session high with this bullish candle. And of course, when you go to the 15-minute, you can see that that was a high. The market opens at 9:30, takes out that high, breaks structure to the downside. Also, while doing so, we entered back into a bearish fair value gap. And this bearish, why is this not working? My goodness, there we go. So this bearish fair value gap was never respected at all. It was never respected, and I didn't take that into account at all. So we get a major reaction off of this bearish fair value gap. And like I said, we swept out London session highs. We break structure to the downside. And at that point, we are currently in bearish order flow. So with that knowledge, for some reason, I still thought of going long here because of, we have this bullish fair value gap. I'm just going to get rid of this one right here. So we have this bullish fair value gap, right? This is terrible. Why is it doing that? It's because of the magnet. That's why. So we have this bullish fair value gap. It gets disrespected. Okay, cool. Now we know what the market is possibly doing. Then for some reason, I still thought to go long here, and I guess it's because of the bullish SMT that was created. And at the time, this was the bullish SMT that was created from these highs all the way to here. This was the SMT that was created. I think it was either from this low to this low or this low to this low. Whatever it was, we had a bullish SMT. We created this massive move up, broke structure to the upside, and at that point I was like, okay, maybe the market wants to continue, but I did not pay attention to what the market was telling me to do. Psychologically, I was thinking of going for, or let's back up. Psychologically, I wanted to predict the market, and actually, I did predict the market, or obviously, I didn't do a good job at it. But instead of reacting to the market, I predicted the market, and ultimately, that's where I fail multiple times. Every time I try to predict the market and predict what may happen or what could happen, I lose a trade. And trading is about reacting to what the market is giving you. So ultimately, let's make sure I'm recording. Okay, good. Ultimately, what I should have done was realized, okay, we swept liquidity, we broke structure to the downside. This is all part of my strategy too. We sweep liquidity, we break structure to the downside, showing a market structure shift. From there, what do we get? We also are entering back into a bearish fair value gap that was never retraced or respected. So all this bearish confluence, yet I was like, maybe the market could possibly go up higher. So I look for longs. Somehow, some way, I found a long position in the 1 minute, which is silly because I didn't have confluence that the market was going to go up higher. You see, so we have this nice little, okay, so we come down, we break structure to the upside, we respect this fair value gap, and low key, I wanted to enter into this fair value gap here, but didn't because I wanted more confirmation. Wait a little late, then we get here. What happens? Boom. I enter into a trade, and I get stopped out down here. This is where news happens. Freaking Trump talks about, actually it was a rumor, bro. It was a rumor. It was about Powell getting fired, having Powell possibly get fired. That news, bro. That news stopped me out so fast because at this point, since I knew I had a bad or a terrible entry, in my mind I was like, okay, we can possibly still salvage a 1-to-1, or we can still salvage a break even trade for this. Because I was waiting for the market, literally, I was waiting for the market to break structure to the upside right at this key level. No, it was here. Right at this key level, I was waiting for the market to break structure to the upside. It did not do that. It did not do that. Like, we swept that. This massive Draco candle was news. That was the news we got. And I saw it on Forex Factory. If y'all don't use Forex Factory, it is a W tool, especially when it comes to news. I was looking at Forex Factory, and then I saw that news. I was like, bro, there's no way. This is what made the market go down. But then I realized, I was like, what if this news was created so the market can go down and take out, all these lows that we have created here? And like I said, the market wanted shorts. The market wanted shorts from this position. So we get it open at 9:30. 9:30 open here. Like I said, we got a liquidity sweep, break structure to downside, enter back into a fair value gap that needed to be respected. And at this point, what do we have? We see that at this point, this fair value gap is considered an inverse fair value gap. So we know that's one thing. That's one bearish confluence. Another bearish confluence is this order block. Like I said, order blocks are the up or down move before a big move down. So this was the up move before the massive down move. We entered into this order block, and it's funny how this reacted. We entered into this order block, and right when we entered into this order block, news happened, shot straight down. Boom. I was like, okay, there's no way I'm about to get stopped out like this. What happens again? Market comes back inside of this order block again. Massive Draco candle down to get me stopped out. And there was another confluence. It was from this, what was it right here? That was the fair value gap. Now, disregard this order block. We have a fair value gap as well. And this is also a bearish confluence that's showing that the market wants to go lower. And, like I said, I was trying to predict the market, and I completely disregarded the fact that the market was telling me to go shorts. We had so many signs to go short, but I disregarded every single sign that was given because of wanting, or Loki, I was creating a fantasy in my mind that the market was going to go long here. Anyway, today's trade. This was today's trade. If I'm being completely honest with you, I didn't know what to do. I genuinely did not know what to do in this trade. And in my mind, at the very beginning, once the market opened, I knew what to do. So this is very textbook style. Yet I failed because I got caught in trying to predict the market. So we come back into, what was this? A 30 minute? No, I think it was an hourly. Yes. We got to get a little serious with this one, okay? So we come back into a fair value gap. Mind you, we've already broken structure to the upside, so we know that there is some type of bullish order flow going on here. What do we get? We get a breaker structure. This is the Asian session, right? We get a breaker structure. No. This was the Asian session. Yes, it was 17, 17, 18. I believe it was right here. Yeah. So here's the Asian session, right? We break structure to the upside in the Asian session while also creating a bullish fair value gap. Once we created this bullish fair value gap, we can get rid of this. Sorry, there's a lot of noise going on here. So we created this. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Hello. All right, so we created this bullish fair value gap, broke structure to the upside, so we know that the market has to retrace. During the pre-market, we get this retracement, respect it, and move up higher. That showed a sign that the market was going to move higher. Okay, that's only an hour. Now we go to the 15 minute. We have so much more confluence because we create another fair value gap that needs to be respected. Market opens at 9:30. 10 minutes go by. Okay, cool. We broke structure to the upside, showing signs of bullish order flow. Then at this point, I get lost. The reason why I get lost is because I go back to the 5 minute when I should have stayed in the 15 minute. And this is why it's important to match each time frame up. This 5 minute breaker structure to the downside was just a 15-minute retracement. That's all it was. I got caught in my own ideology of what the market could possibly do. I tried predicting, okay, since we have taken out this buy side liquidity, maybe the market will want to come back down. But no, we've already swept out buy side liquidity, and we've broken structure above those buy side liquidity with these new highs and this key level here. We break structure to the upside, but I didn't accept that the market was going to go higher. I honestly thought the market was going to go lower and probably retest back down to these Asian session lows. But no, this is why it's important to stay in the higher time frames, because higher time frame always holds higher value, and that will always be true in my case. So we get this retracement back inside of a fair value gap. I click sell because in the 5 minute, there was a retracement back into a fair value gap. Okay, we got a breaker structure to downside, and we also have a re-entry into the fair value gap. Cool, understandable, but that's not the trade. That was never the trade. This trade I took today was low-key very frustrating because this is part of my rules. It's just like paying attention to the higher time frames and knowing when and when not to enter into a trade. And dude, one of my rules is not trading against the trend unless it is proven in the higher time frame that the market wants to reverse. The market did not want to reverse in these higher time frames. 30-minute, no, it did not want to. 15-minute, no, it was just a retracement. In the 5 minute, all it was just a. Oh man, that's what is so frustrating. these couple trades, like, these are trades on my Express account now. So I've taken trades on my Express account, and it's like it's like everything. It's like I'm going back to my old ways, and maybe it's the excitement of finally getting an Express account, but it's like I'm losing my strategy. It's like I'm not trusting in the process, and at this point, it's just psychological. It's just not trusting that it'll work out as it should. So it's just what I'm going to do is, since I took two trades that were literally trading against the trend, and since that is one of my rules, I'm not going to be taking a trade tomorrow. Tomorrow, which is August, no, I lied, July 17th or July 18th. Tomorrow is a Friday, July 18th, and I will not be taking a trade. And this is part of me disciplining myself because these trades were terrible. These trades were terrible, and they don't match anything of my nature when it comes to the setups and the strategies that I hold. I have two strategies, right? One of them is a reversal strategy, a liquidity sweep, market structure shift to the downside, a retracement inside of equilibrium. I look for this kind of price range, premium and discount. Then when it comes to the second strategy, it is more of a continuation model. This was a clear sign of a continuation model because all I'm looking for in continuation is just a breaker structure to the upside with also a retracement inside of a fair value gap. And that's what we got here. But like I said, since I was so stuck on the lower time frame, I literally got myself stopped out because I didn't stick to the higher time frames. Anyway, disregard this. This is the trade I should have taken. Market retraces back into this fair value gap. Okay, cool. Going into the 5 minute, just to pay attention to more confluences, we see, to get rid of that, we see that there is an inverse fair value gap being shown, and that is here. So at that point, we could have been like, okay, since the market is about to inverse, and since we did get that breaker structure to the downside, in my mind, I should have been like, okay, since we got this breaker structure, that proves that the market wants to go a little lower. This could have been an entry model. This is inside of the 50% range of my model. Perfect entry. This is a discounted price range. This is literally textbook strategy style. And like I said, I'm not going to knock myself because, okay, the trade was bad, but at the end of the day, I'm still learning. And even if I blow this Express account, it's fine because this is a process, it's a journey. And one thing I have to stop doing is stop chasing money. I've low-key been idolizing money because I've been trying to pass an account. Once I pass the account, I try to make money from the account and do certain things instead of just, if there's A plus setup, take the A plus setup. If everything is correlating with the strategy, take the setup, which is also A plus setup. And and just trusting in myself and trusting in the strategy. But we live and learn. This was a phenomenal trade. Today could have been a phenomenal trade. But, things happen, life happens. That's all part of the game. You know, like I said, I am so excited that I passed my Express account. It's just making sure that I'm staying disciplined to the charts, staying disciplined to my strategies, and trusting what the market will do. Going back to this, oh, I just showed y'all all that information. My goodness. Hey, like I said, bro, we are officially funded. We are officially funded, and I don't care. I'm living lavishly, bro. About to make 100K next week. No, I'm just playing. Nah, but that's all I really have for you guys. If you stayed this long for the video, I appreciate you so much. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. And oh shoot, I'm not even in the frame. But yeah, this is different than what I normally do because normally I try to do vlog type, but I didn't have enough time to do a vlog. I got off of work at 4 p.m. I had training literally an hour later. So I had to go and do training. Training took almost 2 hours. Now I'm finally able to record this video. I'm about to get some more content published on Instagram and TikTok. But like I said, that's all I really have for you guys. Peace out.